Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with men's basketball. We're joined by head coach Andy Bronkema. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Robert.
Obviously another good weekend for your team, back-to-back wins. Here, nice to be back at home here inside Jim Wink Arena.
Yep, that road trip was a tough one. 5 games in a row, and we played some good basketball. We learned a lot about ourselves, but we're back home at Wink, and that first half against Parkside back home, we couldn't miss, and then we just carried that momentum through the week and got 2 big wins.
Obviously, with the 2 wins, you improved to 20-3 overall. 6 straight year with 20 wins or more. Maybe speak about what that means.
Well, a couple people brought that up, and I just always go back to the players that we've had. I mean, the players win the games, and we've had a lot of incredible players with a lot of talent and just an impressive group of players that have come through here in the last several years. So obviously we like those type of stats. They're great, but we're not finished, and we got to 20 a little earlier this year than last year, so that's also good. But now we're heading through the second time through the conference here, and that's going to be a challenge.
As we go to the highlights of Thursday's game against Parkside, got off to a great start here in the first half against Parkside.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes you have those halves or games where you just can't miss, and it certainly wasn't mistake-free after reviewing the film, but we had a lot of energy. We offensive rebounded well all weekend, actually, in both games, but just had a lot of shot makers, and the ball was going through the hoop, and everything's easier when it goes through. When you see it go through, you stay motivated, you stay focused, and you're concentrating on the other parts of the game. So, Parkside, they went in, and then Purdue Northwest, they didn't. 3 of 24 from 3, but Walt's a streak shooter there. We've all seen that now. The fans love it. Jeremiah's starting to play well. Great little take here. He has another one, I think, later on this highlight film where he should have just kicked it, but he's starting to play well. And I just still think we have room for improvement, because I just think our concentration just goes in and out. We're really focused for a long time, and then we just lose it for 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm concerned about that and want to work on it, but these guys are making plays. Look at
obviously a big lead here in the first half, led by 30 at one stage, and this against a team that was fighting for position here at the top of the division.
Yeah, and we played well against them last year at home, and then they whooped us for the division title at 3rd place late in the season. So I felt like there was a lot to play for here, and our guys did too, and especially coming off of that performance at Michigan Tech where they handed it to us. The guys showed their character and came out, but weren't really able to sustain the intensity for the whole game. The second half we were a little lackadaisical, but here's the one I was talking about. I'd like to see him kick that, but he's getting so much better as a floor general. And see Logan out here in the highlights. He's really starting to contribute in a lot of areas. Happy about that too. So Elo playing the best basketball he has in his career, and leading us, and Dorian had a great weekend too.
Well, Kelser leading the way here in this game with 29 points. Nice to see him kind of get back on his stride after a tough trip to the UP.
Yeah, I mean, shooters shoot. He's gonna be a scorer for us. I mean, I don't think we've had anybody average, a single person average as high as him since I've been the coach. So he's one heck of a scorer, and the guys trust him. And it really wouldn't matter if he was, 0 for, that last shot. It's probably going to him, and he'll probably make it.
Obviously, you got the big win, and then you had to come back and take on Purdue Northwest on Saturday and kind of throw the records out the window in the GLIAC. They were a team that certainly you knew was going to come in and play hard and compete, and they did.
Yeah, well, they're probably the one team that just really loves to get pressed, honestly. I mean, I don't think anybody necessarily loves it, but they don't mind it. They broke our press for some scores, and we didn't have a lot of energy sprinting back. There's plenty of teams that it doesn't bother that much, but kind of gets us going. So just thought they scored a lot of easy buckets on us, and they had a couple of their players step up way above their averages, and give them credit because they were making plays. But our guys, it was like the dead opposite. We didn't see the ball go in the hoop, yet we stayed focused, and we concentrated and won it down the stretch. Large part of Dorian's big game, but we made some big stops down the stretch. Cole had a big hook shot down the stretch, and our offensive rebounding was fantastic. I guess in a game like this, when you miss that many shots. You have some opportunity offensive rebound, but you still got to go get them, and our guys pursued that ball, and that helped us out.
Obviously, Dorian led the way with 24 points, but also did a great job on the glass with 14 rebounds as well.
Man, he was feeling it. I mean, and you know, you try to recognize that during the game and get the ball to him in certain spots, and then, you know, he gets a lot of the credit, but he'd be the first to tell you, you know, that that's a team game, and it was day to step up. This was a very physical game. You know, not a lot of fouls called either way, and a lot of contact, and just physical. And Dorian's, you know, one of our most physical players, so he thrived in that atmosphere. And you know, there he is, just making a tough play in traffic, and I think a little flex at the end. So, you know, here's again Logan making a nice assist. And this stuff is happening in practice and starting to come out in games. Big steal. You know, proud of the team for persevering. Here's Cole with the hook shot, and you know that he scored the first 4 points of the game. And teams have been guarding Cole so tight, and he comes up with that big one at the end, and we needed it.
Get a win, 82-77, and now back on the road here this week, taking on Ashland and Wayne State, two teams you saw here earlier in the year.
Well, we always talk about the second time through the league, and I think it brings new challenges. Teams are even more familiar with each other, and by this time, everybody's kind of got their identity down, their rotation. You know, there's pretty much no questions about, you know, I feel like we know everything about our team, and we know our strengths and weaknesses, and so do the other teams. So everybody's firing on all cylinders and ready for the stretch run. So we're competing for, you know, tournament positioning, and everybody's still alive, and it's going to be a tough second time through.
First place in the North Division as you enter this weekend's road trip, but obviously Ashland, an opponent that's had a lot of success here in recent years as well, coming up on Thursday night.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, they just have really good players, and they're well coached. They've, you know, coming off a national tournament appearance, and I mean, you can just talk all day about each and every team in our league. I mean, you really can. You listen to all the other coaches, their shows, their interviews. I mean, everybody knows it about the GLIAC, and I guess that's why it makes it fun and challenging. But we're going to go on the road against two teams that maybe right now don't have the records that they probably should, but that's the GLIAC for you. Some teams win by one, some teams lose by one, and there's really just not that much of a difference. So the best team on that day will win, and hopefully we're better than Ashland.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the sweep, and best of luck here as you go on the road this week.
All right.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. Reminder, you can follow all the action, get all the results online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.